Okay. I got to the office a little bit earlier today, so I had time to read this article I printed out last night called "The Dark Side of Gamifying Work." Caught my eye because, it's a pretty dramatic sounding title. The author presents a interesting critique of gamification in the workplace. I grew up as a gamer, still am a gamer. Video games are really important to me, not just as something fun to do. They've kind of made me who I am. I think everyone's lives are shaped by gaming, and not just through video games, through sports or family games, board games, whatever. Everyone's already been touched by gamification, and they don't even realize it. The workplace or higher education, any industry uses gamification to engage their participants and make everyone a little bit happier. I should probably get going.
When someone says that there's a dark side to it, doesn't really make sense to me. Really, I just want to see what Sam has to say about it, because I think he'll say something kind of interesting.
Morning, sir.
What's up?
Did you see that article I sent you?
Not this early in the morning, Jaime. I saw it, I didn't get to look at it.
Oh, okay.
I saw it, didn't get to look at it.
All right, well, I think it'd be a good read. Maybe we can make something out of it. The title's pretty dramatic. He says there's a dark side to gamification. Caught my eye.
What do you mean?
Cool. From what I got from the article, he's not a fan of gamification.
Yeah, what outlet was it in?
Fast Company.
Fast Company, okay. What do you think?
Well, I mean, he's a scientist, so...
Is he like one of these LinkedIn legends that has an opinion on everything?
Blogger, so yeah.
I mean, what do you think? What should we do?
I think it'd be kind of cool if we got to see what other people think about gaming.
So why don't you just go out and talk to people? Why don't you find out? Why don't you, get out of here? Leave us alone for a day. Why don't you go out and
now?
Interview people?
I got... Okay. Sure.
What else are you doing?
I guess this now.
You've been saying you wanted to do street interviews, right?
Yeah.
It's a perfect topic to do street interviews. I haven't read it, but I mean, if somebody's talking about games in a negative, why don't you just hit the streets and do some interviews and see what other people think about games? Sav, what are you doing right now? What are you working on?
Wait, what?
Yeah. What do you need me for?
I would get Sav. Why don't you go?
You want me to go now?
You guys can. I mean, what else you can do? Do it right now. You want to go to New York?
Are you working on anything?
Go to New York.
Go shopping.
Really?
When you're done, go shopping.
Okay. So you could help me interview people and stuff. I mean,
Yeah.
it'll just be like this. I'll hold the camera. I'll give you the mic and.
Yeah, let's go. Let's do it.
All right.
Yes. On the PS4,
Xbox.
Solitaire. On behalf of my wife.
Words with Friends, play a lot of board games, Catan, Sorry, and Payday.
Battlefield and classic Call of Duty.
A lot of action adventure and strategy games.
A lot of Overwatch.
Regular card games, ERS and stuff like that. Oh, Exploding Kittens.
and then I play the game that I can always win.
I like a lot of story-based games, anything with that's well written.
I play drinking games.
Role-playing games. Call of Duty, Division, just FIFA, 2K.
Halo.
So what's your favorite part about these games?
The feeling I get when I win.
Just kind of gives you something to kill time with.
So I'm a medical student. A lot of robotic surgeries right now are actually like video games. Put your face into it and you look into the screen.
Competition.
A form of media that can be used to expand people's minds.
It's always great family time for us.
Just I want to win. A healthy way to distract yourself.
It's challenging, it's entertainment, it's fun.
And good stress relievers too.
Yo, Sam.
What?
Did you get to read that article?
Oh, I'm trying to turn my computer on. What article? Oh, that.
Yeah.
Crap. Oh. That article? Why? We're gonna talk about it? You want to talk about it?
Yeah, I want to talk about it.
The fact that people are allowed to write crap like that and then second be able to publish stuff like that is absolutely mind-blowing to me. So give me 5 and then we'll talk about it. Let's go.
We're ready?
Let's do it. Awesome. I don't know if this guy wants to be Malcolm Gladwell with his mini history lesson or he wants to make a point. The only thing I see is he doesn't get games, period. The argument that gamification is a bad thing for people at work at a time when more workers are competitive, work is under attack by automation and robots. For somebody to come out and make the argument that giving people points and incentives to excite them around work is a bad thing is something coming from somebody who's not connected with reality. This is what happens today. Everybody comes out with articles and they want to take a divisive point. 60% of the articles talking about the history of games with no point, and then the other 40% are picking on things and calling gamification micromanagement. Let me tell you something, as a leader who's coached sales teams for over 15 years, employees more than ever want coaching every day. They want to be able to get some direction. Now, this concept of micromanagement being a bad thing, it's absolutely false. People want direction. I compliment Target. I compliment Disney World. I compliment Cold Stone because you know what? They're trying to find ways to make rote tasks that are under attack by automation. They're trying to find a way to make people be able to do it a little bit better. That's a great thing to me. And it's crazy to me that somebody can come out with an article, just take a divisive stance in order to get some likes on LinkedIn. He wrote, a gamified workplace sets not just goals for workers, but it shows them precisely how those goals can be achieved. What's so terrible about that for showing people what they need to do to accomplish their work? Okay, now listen, I was a football coach, I was a strength coach, I played sports. I am where I'm at today because of coaches who developed me and helped me get better for work every single day. Using a game. It's interesting how we talk about games a lot in this, but we don't talk about, like sports in the aspect of the principles you learn as being a great person through games. He says gamification is the application of game elements into non-game spaces. Wrong. Gamification is the use of game mechanics to motivate, excite, energize, fire up people to achieve a goal. If the gamification of something at the end of the day doesn't make you better at your job or help the bottom line, then you know what? There is a misuse of gamification. If you want to argue what the risks are of gamifying something, I'll do it better than this article will. If you gamify, you add points, leaderboards, scorecards, badges to some type of corporate business activity, and you as a business think that alone will motivate and energize your people in replacement of you, you're wrong. That is a misuse of gamification. You know what else a misuse of gamification is? Games that there is no payoff. At One Huddle, for example, companies incentivize participation with rewards and contests and recognition. If you don't do that, that is a misuse of gamification. People aren't learning the things in college and in their education to understand what the impact is on a business when a business doesn't perform. There's a Disney example in here where they essentially had a leaderboard system that shows employees if they're moving fast enough, minute by minute by minute. I think teaching people a little bit of hustle today is a good thing. He makes the argument that, they get hurt more often. Well, don't get hurt. Like, do it right. Don't motivate people because they might get to work a little too fast and might get hurt. This is the absolute wrong thing that should be in a business magazine. And you know what? I blame it on, this is a Forbes article? Who did this, Jaime?
Fast Company?
It was Fast. I blame them. The workforce is clearly competitive. If we want to argue what the negative and the downsides are, we can do that. But the positives and the upside for a business means employees are more excited, more energized, stay longer, and we know they're more competitive. An average millennial will have spent 10,000 hours on a game platform before they're 21. You mean you don't want to lean into that when you're trying to drive revenue? You're crazy. I don't have time for this guy. See you later.
Find a place. There we go. Good. Focus. So that was definitely one of the loudest and most energetic Sam rants I've ever seen. And he's right. That guy totally doesn't understand games. Why would you ever try and write about them? Why would you try and understand them if you just don't play games? When I first read the article, it kind of bothered me, his stance on leaderboards, how he sort of bashed leaderboards, and that really should have been a big warning. When you hate a leaderboard, when you hate competition, then you're also hating on people trying to become better, people striving to get firsts. So why would you ever hate that? Why would you ever say that that's a bad thing? Maybe this guy lost too many games of Mario Party when he was a kid and that sort of traumatized him. I'm not in service, but I sit next to Donna and I get to see all the emails that we get from our users who are employees saying how much they love just our game, how great it is that they can learn on the go and that they can compete with their friends and coworkers. Hospitals are using games to help people with anxiety, pain. People have gotten married because of World of Warcraft or people they've met through games. So why would you ever want to keep something as good as a game out of the workspace? I'm kind of regretting showing that article to Sam. Then we wouldn't have gotten that awesome rant out of it. Now I really just want to play video games. Actually, I should be playing some of my One Huddle games. Oh, hey, I'm in 3rd place. Not bad. Could be doing better, so I guess I'm gonna get to it.